On October 25th, Bungie revealed in their Season 23 preview that snipers are getting a flat buff of 15% damage, meaning that we might see a new meta shift towards snipers for special weapon damage. Of course, shotguns will always have the 1-2 punch niche, and fusions will always have the utility niche, but I think snipers are going to be viable champ chunking weapons. So, in celebration of a hopeful new meta, let's talk about every sniper in the game, and which ones to chase for next season. In all honesty, I don't think sniper frames change that much about the weapon. Of course you want an aggressive frame for its better impact stat, but they fire slower and also typically have less in the mag and more recoil. But when the perks aren't conducive to dealing damage to bosses, then it won't matter anyway. Rapid fire frames are the most different, as they fire faster at 140 rounds per minute, but have the lowest impact. So they'll typically have the worst damage output, but as we get into the list we'll see if that holds true for all rapid fire frames. Since snipers are used for damage, it's best to match them with your heavy for surge mods on your leg armor. So firstly, solar is the best element, since Yellowhorn, Sleeper, Whisper and 1k voices are all solar too. Next up is either Void or Arc, since Tracked Cannon, Thunderlord, Taipan and Hothead are really useful in a DPS phase. Then I'd say Stasis, since there's some great heavy stasis weapons to use, like Cold Comfort, Reeds and Fire and Forget. Next is Strand, since as it is right now, there's only really 2 viable Strand heavies, and one of them is from Trials. Finally is Kinetic, because what heavy weapons can be kinetic? I mean, there literally isn't a single kinetic heavy in the game. Kinetic surge mods just shouldn't be in there. It should work with your subclass matching your surge type. That should be how it works. I don't understand what is the point. With all that out of the way, let's get into this list. Gallo. Starting off the list with a sleeper hit here. The Gallo can roll with a fantastic role of Overflow Focus Fury. Obviously, in most endgame content, Focus Fury isn't ideal, since Firing Line grants the same 20% damage boost just for being near to allies, but if you're running as a duo or a solo player, then Focus Fury isn't a perk to look over so quickly. The same goes for this sniper. RunaD. This Gambit sniper is a fairly well kitted sniper. The problem being is that it's from Gambit, and it has 24 total perks. Explosive Payload, Clam Cartridge, and Triple Tap with Vorpal and Firing Line. Obviously, Firing Line isn't ideal, but Vorpal is a very good alternative since it gives a 15% bonus to damage on bosses. Not as much as Firing Line, but it's a close second. Persuader. This one sucks. Even with the upcoming buff, I don't think this will be worth using. Rapid Hit, Precision Instrument. That's all really. If you really want to, you could use Rapid Hit Triple Tap, but I can't imagine it will output as much damage as other snipers can. Uzume. This Nightfall sniper does actually have some good perks on it, even though I've never actually seen anyone use it. Lead from Gold, Triple Tap and Clam Cartridge with Explosive Payload or Vorpal. The lack of firing line does hurt the sniper, but I think it's what it's got. It's good. And the ability to focus it is not a bad pick either. Occluded Finality. On paper, the role of autoloading and firing line sounds great. Near perfect even. But here's where the problems start. To get the sniper, you have to play Iron Banner. Even then, it's legacy focusing exclusive at the moment. So not only do you have only 3 weeks a season to get this, you also have to dedicate your engrams to legacy focusing. Honestly, I'd just say focus on grinding for a different sniper. But if you do have the auto-loading firing line role, then definitely try this one out. Far Future. To be completely honest, I can't recommend the sniper in good faith. Auto-loading with Frenzy just isn't that great of a role. It might be alright for auto-swapping with like a linear or machine gun, but there's better options for that. Just stay away from this one, I think. Last Foray. For World Loot, this sniper's got an alright role on it. Envious Assassin with Focus Fury or Frenzy is quite a good role for a solo player. But it comes with the caveat of not being focusable or craftable, like other snipers are later on this list. Soul Survivor. This season the Deep Sniper is actually a bit of a sleeper hit. Rapid Hit, Field Prep and Lead from Gold are some pretty great perks, plus Firing Line and Vorpal in the right column. I would recommend Focus Fury for solo players, but the first 2 shots in the mag wouldn't have the bonus 20% damage, so Vorpal actually deals more damage here since the 50% on all shots grants a total of 60% more damage compared to Fury's 40%. Widow's Bite. Do not use the sniper, not in Crucible, not in PvE, there is not a good role in the sniper. Silicon Neuroma. Another pretty good Nightfall sniper, but where Uzume is solar, Silicon is kinetic, meaning it's actually more ideal to run Uzume, since it benefits from solar surge mods that you'll likely be running with Yellowhorn or Sleeper. But for perks on this one, you'll run around Triple Tap with Firing Line, but again, you'd be better off spending your engrams on Uzume. Bite of the Fox. Another Iron Banner weapon, but this one is actually in the current loot pool, meaning it will be easier to chase. With the perk rolls of Rapid Hit or Envious Assassin, with Explosive or Vorpal, it's certainly not a bad choice if you happen to get one. Tranquility. This sniper is surprisingly good. With the perks like auto-loading or Lead from Gold in the left column, with Firing Line on the right, it's a real good choice for new players who want to grab a solid kinetic sniper. A Distant Pull. The first craftable sniper on this list, this Stasis sniper has got a great role on it. Overflow with triple tap or explosive payload or focus fury. On the sniper, because of triple tap or overflow, focus fury is actually a great choice since it allows a magazine of 7 with triple tap or around 10 with the overflow, so focus fury doesn't have so much wasted bonus damage and gets more rounds with the bonus 20% damage. Lunar Regolith. This Vanguard sniper has got a great role for new lights, with clown cartridge or triple tap with explosive payload, firing line or even cascade point. Considering how easy it is to focus your Vanguard engrams, even now with the bonus perks in each column after resetting your Vanguard rank, the sniper is likely the easiest sniper for new players to get. Praether's Revenge. A really strange weapon here. It really only has frenzy or high impact reserves for damage. Now normally I wouldn't recommend high impact reserves, but because of the perk rewind rounds in the left column, you can get even more rounds from the bottom of your mag thanks to the way rewind reloads after the mag is empty. Mercurial Overreach. Since this is a comp exclusive reward, the fact that this weapon isn't really good for PvE is expected. As much as I love the model for the sniper, I can't recommend pulling this one. Apostate. Unfortunately, Apostate just isn't built for PvE either, with the best role it's got being left from gold or explosive payload. It's rapid fire frame, it's just not worth it. Fugue 55. Another world loot sniper that is great. The Fugue has got the best sustained damage perks we've seen yet. Auto-loading in 4th times with Focus Fury for solo players, Vorpal for unconfident players, and firing line for anyone playing in groups of 3 or more. I could not recommend the sniper enough. Icolos. One of my personal favourites, likely just biased to anything Warmind related. The Icolos sniper has got some of my favourite sustained perks on it, like Fugue, but with overflow in addition to the 4th times Focus Fury roll, not to mention it's solar and craftable. In my opinion, it's one of the best rapid fire frames in the game. Urangi. Another great world loot sniper here. This Vice sniper has envious and 4th times in the left column, with Focus Fury and firing line in the right. Plus the Vice origin perk allows the weapon to reload this weapon completely. This might be one of the best sustained damage snipers in the game. The only downside is the rapid fire frame, meaning it's just dealing less damage per shot than others. Distant Tumulus. Since the sniper is only attainable right now from Days of Eternity, Tumulus isn't exactly a recommendation. But it is a good pick if you can get one, with a clown cartridge firing line. I just wish I had the Vice origin perk to boost it, since it is older than origin perks are. The Supremacy. I am so glad that the sniper got reissued, because what was once one of the worst snipers in the game is now probably the best. Rewind rounds and kinetic tremors, or bait and switch, are some great perks to have on a sniper, but I do think it's let down by the fact it's kinetic, and bait and switch isn't really ideal for a weapon you're not going to be using for damage, like a linear or a rocket launcher. Succession. Now this is my favourite sniper in the game. This kinetic aggressive frame from the Deepstone Crypt has always been a fairly popular choice for snipers, but since it's been reissued as a craftable sniper, I think it's now the best in-slot pick. Reconstruction with Vorpal, Focus Fury or firing line is just the best perk selection for a champ chunking sniper. Beloved. Another PvP sniper with no perks to speak of for PvE. I thoroughly don't recommend. Eye of Soul. Same as Beloved, no perks in the left column to help sustain damage. Defiance of Yasmin. Another fantastic kinetic sniper, but just like all Kingsfall weapons, you'll have to rely on the origin perk to get any magazine bonus, which is fine in raids or dungeons where you'll likely be close by to allies, but in solo content it's not ideal. Left from gold with firing line, Vorpal or Focus Fury are all great perks to chase on the sniper, but I still think I'd recommend Succession over this. Twilight Oath. I'd love to recommend the sniper to new players, but ultimately I think it's not a very good choice of your time. Tranquility is just as easy to get and chase for newer players, plus it has better rolls on it. If Twilight had triple tap on it like it used to, then maybe it'd be good to recommend, but as it stands it's not ideal. The Long Walk. A fantastic free-to-play sniper. The Long Walk is a great choice for any new player able to run Prophecy. Clown Cartridge with Overflow and Firing Line are great perks on pretty much every sniper, and its solo synergy works great with most builds. I recommend the sniper as much as I would Succession or Defiance of Yasmin. Omniscient Eye. From a great solo sniper to another awful one. No sustain perks on this sniper at all. From a raid to just an awful choice. Frozen Orbit. This Crucible sniper is surprisingly good for PvE. Clown Cartridge, auto-loading and triple tap with Vorpal is just a really good pick for a free-to-play. Not to mention it's still focus build like Shaxx too, meaning you can get even more perks each column. Shepherd's Watch. If you have to use the sniper, I can only recommend Lead from Gold, Firing Line. There's better options for kinetic snipers in the game. Long Shadow. Whilst I love how the sniper looks, I don't think I can recommend it. Rapid hit, explosive payload is the best role here, nothing great. Father's Sins. The very first craftable sniper. This Void Rapid Fire is a fairly alright pick, with Triple Tap and Focus Fury being the best role here. Not an ideal role, but it's not a bad one if you can craft it. Macabre. This Halloween exclusive sniper has got some pretty good rolls on it. Clown cartridge, auto-loading and triple tap in the left column with Vorpal in the right column. Of course, again, it's not the best perk rolls in the world, but for how easy it is to get when Halloween does roll around, I'd say, chase it, even if it is just for looks alone. Volta Bracket. This is the only strand sniper in the game, and honestly it's a really good pick. For any new player that started with Lightfall, this sniper is possibly the best to go for with how easy it is to get. Triple tap with Envious Assassin in the left column, or Explosive and Firing Line in the right column. Not to mention, it's craftable, so you can just fine tune the sniper as you need it to be. Thoughtless, another stasis sniper. This is technically the second craftable sniper in the game, and at the time, the best. Overflow or Rapid Hit with Firing Line or Focus Fury. At this point that role must be boring to listen to, but it's because the role is so good and most snipers have it. Either way, I enjoy this sniper and I think a distant pull is a better stasis choice, but Thoughtless isn't far behind. Locus Locotus. Basically a newer version of Thoughtless, Locus has the same god roll of Overflow Firing Line. The same goes for this sniper though, I think a distant pull is better. 1,000 Yard Stare. This sniper is so close to being good. It has triple tap in the left column, but it doesn't have any damage perk for bosses. Again, I think this is a PvP weapon through and through. Adored. This sniper has got a pretty good damage perk set on it. It's pretty standard, don't get me wrong, but it's good. Triple tap Vorpal is a good perk set on any sniper, hell, any damage weapon. So it's good that this sniper is pretty easy to get. Just need to visit the Monument of Lost Light in a tower and you can grab it for yourself. I've always been a fan of snipers, even if I've never actually had a reason to. So, hopefully with the upcoming changes, this guide will help you pick out some of the best snipers to use for your DPS phases.